Oh, dudes, thanks so much for still being here. 1 week to go. We're going to go through the results here. Just going to go through the last two games as well. And don't forget, I'll be doing fantasy finals here on the channel and on the podcast. So stick around for that as well. But this night's game, a 22-point victory against the Titans there. And I mentioned Lucas as being a really interesting pick and a good one heading into this game here on the edge. We know that he scores really, really well. And it wasn't at a ridiculous price at 630 there. And he picked up a 79, which was amazing. We know that he's capable of those types of scores, along with Ponga there. Speaking about the drought of tries, and he managed two in that first half there. And a very slow second half. Wasn't to be for him in that second half, but good kick meters, good run meters, 10 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, 2 tries, and 4 goals. So couldn't have asked for much more from Ponga in this game for a 76. And it was a very, very different feel for that of Campbell in this one with 72. And again, similar to what he did when we first picked him up, it's just score across the board. It's 7 tackle breaks. It's big kick meters. It's big run meters. It's the try savers, turnover tackles, try assists, just everything across the board there with offloads as well. So well done to Campbell in that one. And what about Sharp? It's turned out to be a absolute godsend of a pick on that right wing. And unfortunately for us, with Marzu on the left, it's just not working out for Greggy, unfortunately, as well as we would have hoped. But for Sharp, it's been the complete opposite. He scored 3 tries in like 10 minutes there to just boost his score up to a 69. A beautiful score at that. And then Brady Best with a 63 off a little bit early in this one. Obviously coming into it with a hamstring problem as well. But yeah, good to get him a nice score in there on that one there with Jojo Fafita. A nice 63 as well. So a good return comeback game for him. Brayley was 62 as well. Was massive. And then you had Gags with a 58. So just good scores across the board there when you've got sort of 8 guys 58 and above, and then you've got Leo Thompson, Adam Elliott, and Brodie Jones all, run-of-the-mill forwards there that absolutely smashed their averages. And I actually mentioned Brodie Jones as a cheap guy as well this week. So yeah, a lot of the people that I was looking to get into a side, thankfully I picked well with Ponga, and a lot of the others did well as well with Luai, with Wishart and the like there. But the other guys of interest, obviously both Bowie Fermor at 46 was solid enough. Big run meters there. 253 is wild how that one played out. He did pick up a try assist, line break assist as well. Verrills was solid out there. You had Jolliffe with 56 minutes with a lower score than what we're used to. Greggy with the 38, just good run meters. To only have 2 tackle breaks again. Held up over the line in one of them. I think Brady should have passed on another one, but solid enough at least. But the shocker here is Dave Fafita. You can see obviously the recent form is the problem, and 6 missed tackles in there as well. To only have 2 tackle breaks, no offloads in this type of game is absolutely wild for someone like Fafita. And he's under a 59 average now. And if you're basing it just straight off where he's priced at right now, you can tell how bad that recent form is. He's under a 50 average in the last 5 weeks, which is an absolute shocker. So that's the big news there with Fafita in this game. And then Camperera with a low one there, unfortunately, as well. And then moving to that Roosters game, and we've got confirmation now of Walker and Brandon Smith, both ACL. So super tough. And then you've got Victor Radley as well, out 4 to 8 weeks with a scapular problem there, just shoulder on shoulder, which wasn't nice either. And you're looking at scores here, and there was nothing crazy. 65 was the highest with Manu with 8 tackle breaks. You had Teddy with 10 for a 62 as well. So some good scores for those guys. And obviously Tarpon as well with a 60 would have worked out great for anyone who's grabbed him over the last bunch of weeks. So that were the sort of big main focus points of this game. And then Terrell May, 45 minutes for 57 was crazy as well. Smithy's really getting to his work with 53 tackles. And then I had Watson myself end up coming off the bench as we knew. But 12 minutes in, he was on there when Walker was off, and then played the 50 through 9 with Smith going off, and a little bit through 13 as well. So that worked out well. Got some good running meters in there, some good tackle breaks, and solid enough on the defensive side to pick up a 50, which was much needed because he's down to a 586, which is pretty wild there, and averaging now across the season what he scored in this game, just a tick under 50. Crichton there was the big news there with 43. He's just missing tackles for fun as well, and without the actual attacking stats in this one, gets under a 50, unfortunately. And Danny Levi, what about the PPM on the boy? Didn't score a try in this one, but managed to try assist for a 42. Same with Xavier Savage, a 42 there as well. But what a win it was for the Raiders, as we spoke about in last night's video. there. And then he had Starling with a 27, pretty gross, the 9 missed tackles, a lot of them on Joey Manu there, just kind of bumping him off, and then a few of them where he kind of fell off in the back end, which probably isn't a major miss, as one of them he left for a one-on-one strip. So yeah, bits and pieces there that weren't great. Dom Young with the 27 as well. Brandon Smith played the 37 minutes. We had Walker just the 12 minutes there, as I said. Rapana went off as well, so that's him done for the season there. And his career in the NRL as well. So yeah, plenty of good ones, plenty of low ones as well there. So let's get into the rankings there, because it's absolutely all happening. You can see there my rank, it's just going backwards, unfortunately. I picked up at 805 this week, so still going backwards. Had the full 17, used my last trade on Ponga. But the last 2 weeks have been diabolical. 300 odd out to 320 out to 828. It's just crazy. So there you go. That's that one there. But congrats to Jordan, who's hit the lead there with an incredible 1,065 from, I think, down in fifth or sixth into first in 1 week, which is very, very impressive. And it's what our boy Bev needs this week, a big 1,065, and beat everyone by a couple hundred to win this match, win this league. But Jordan's up there 19 points ahead of Kai, who we had in fourth last week. Pete's dropped down a little bit, but he's only 30 behind. And then Kushla another 22 points behind Peter there. So it is a race in four, in my opinion. I do see guys like Riley, Sean, Tommy, Bev, and obviously Matt, who are both all over 22,500. They could all have massive weeks, but I do find it hard to see one of these four not getting somewhere close to those guys below and matching them, because they're all 60 odd points ahead there. 71 points ahead, I should say. Kushley is from Riley. But it's heating up. It's going to be fun to watch this last round. Good to see it all so close like it was last year as well. But you've got Bev in there at 8, so he moved up one spot with a 918. And the big news from our private group as well is Hayden, a massive move from him again, 946 this week, moving him up from 25th into 13th. So he's had an absolute cracking last couple of weeks, in from 60 odd into 13th in 2 weeks. So congrats to those two boys there. And then Mitch as well moved into 20th in our private group as well. So he's 20th overall with the 977. So to have 3 out of 200 people in the top 20 is absolutely wild, and a testament to those boys' efforts and the group that we've been able to build there, that the help that they provide each other, and the good chat in there has been awesome. So there's the rankings. A very, very fun little section it's going to be. But just a quick one on my team before we do check out the other sections they're heading into the last week. But it does look like myself there, surprisingly, it's got Willison, apparently with the red dot there. I'm not sure what's happening for him as of this week, unless I might have missed something there. But Whiten looks like he's a high chance of being out this week, and I have no one on bye. So I have to check out that Willison one, but we'll see how team lists roll out next week. But it's just the guys falling off a cliff, unfortunately. You've got Fafita that's fallen off a cliff. You've got Kolomatangi and Cotter, both just Gornskis. Cook was solid this week, but Whiten was really, really good, and then he's fallen off a bit. Drinkwater, a bit of a shocker. Marzu aren't getting the massive scores out of him, and just not having Isaiah Yeo is the clear determinant here. If I had Isaiah, had him as captain, I'm sitting there with somewhat close to an 870 or something like that. Even Yeo over Watson over Watson, plus the extra little 20 odd on captaincy, just puts you somewhere around that 850 odd, and I'm not losing too many ranks. Just a simple one as that. And then just having a few other guys not hit 20s and 30s would be nice. But Garrick was a 66, was great. Ponga as well, but everyone else, and then DC a good return with Tedesco. And Carrigan was obviously a great pick last week. It's just not, none of the boys are in sync. Let's just say that. In sync. Okay, let's go to leagues now as well. So, a few people asked, my partner did win the fam league, which was good. Good to see you on that one. Private group, let's get into that there. So Bev's up top, Hayden in second, Mitch in third, and then Richard, Mr. Bustlane, in 28th. So we've got 4 in the top 30. And then sitting there, just a tick under that at 69 is Simon, who's had really, really good weeks back to back. Anthony ended up finishing in 79, so a good turnaround from him after a few tough players to get things kicked off there. He had Jack there with a 925, who ended up winning the head-to-head private group competition and the $1,500 on offer. So 7 points too. So we'll confirm all that, but it is all done now there. We'll confirm it with the nice graphic to finish things off there, I should say. And then Nicky in at 84th. Yeah, Don in there at 102. So we've got 7 in the top 100 now, but 3 of those guys in the top 20, which is absolutely crazy. And a shout out to the guys all the way down to the top 20. There we've got Jack in 9th. We've got Liam in 10th. Unfortunately, really tough round for him after being in 25th or so just a few weeks ago. He had more of a tough one than I did, which is crazy enough there. And he's just had so many injuries that have cooked him there. I should be able to have a decent round 17. Round 27, which should be nice. But Shane in there, who was up there a little bit higher early on in the season as well, even just sort of a month ago, just shows us big moves in this last month, which you've seen from my team as well. But John in there, you've got Max, Kim, Cooper, Corey, David, Cooper again, with his 2 teams there, which is pretty cool. And then Paul in 19th, and then Brad in 20th there with a few other guys. I'm moved out to 31st, unfortunately, but congrats to everyone who's doing really well in that private group league. And then moving on to the podcast, I'm actually unfortunately in 3rd, but do still have a chance of winning the podcasters league. We do have Nick and Stuart in ahead of me, and then Daniel Long there 50 points behind me. So yeah, I'm only 40 points behind, gives us a good chance there. Stuart had a shocker like myself, and then Nick had a good one to push himself from 3rd or 4th into that top position. So we'll see how that one plays out heading into this week. Just the Isaiah Yo factor, not having Tarpany there as big ones, and then Campbell, the 72 was massive on that front there. He actually brought in Nico Hines for a 33, so there you go. That was that. But that's the podcasters league there, and I think that will do us for my leagues. Yeah, there you go. So we'll move on to the SuperCoach team now, which we may see if it just logs straight in for us. All right, we are in. Cool. So it wasn't a great one there, to be honest. I stuffed up a few times. My trade-in of the Isaiah Yo, I reversed once Tommy Turbo was out. So that sucked. Isaiah Yo picked up 120 or something like that. And then it meant I did play Plath instead. And what the hilarious thing out of all this is I brought in Dom Young, picked up a 31. It was going to be Dom Young and Yo. That fit my cash well. I played Dom Young, Greg Marzu, and Isaac Tungo over Garrick. And it got 31, 39, and 18. So that's just, showing where my team's at, unfortunately, to finish the year. We lose Tommy down there. We'll end up with probably Ponga in the side there up against the Dolphins. That'll be a really fun one. But, that's where we're at on that front. Unfortunately, no Dylan Brown, obviously from a bunch of weeks ago. Just every week I don't have to play Bradley. He scores really well. And when I play him, he's got 16 and 40, I think. So another 80 from Jaden. In that one, I've got some good scores up there with like Carrigan, with Tarpany, with Fanua Blake was all solid. Watson 54 was fine, but like Crichton going down with a 57. Fafita low, DCE since we brought him in, he's had a shocker. But Lomax was great. Holmes was underwhelming. So yeah, Teddy's captain was solid, but nothing great there. We lost about 500 spots into 2,900, and we need one more big week here with the one trade. Hopefully we can use that to get Ponga, as I said. Turbo's $1 million, so we can get whoever we want, obviously. But something like that'll be the play, and hopefully a strong 17 on the park. I'll be playing Garrick this week, definitely, and hopefully we can put ourselves in a good position to come out and do good things in round 27, and hopefully get down and beat my 2,100. But I do think we'll need a massive one to be able to do that. But we'll see how that one plays out. So that's the SuperCoach one. We'll just check in with the head-to-head side, who had a couple of grand finals there. So we ended up in 894, which was pretty solid. We had 17 on the park, weren't able to do any looping. We're sitting there with Sipley, Murray, Howarth, and Galvin on the bench there. But Starling with his low one, Cotter obviously, Fafita was down, Whiten was down, Drinkwater was down, Colmatungi. So very similar types of players in this squad, but having Reed's 57, Talangi's 40, Campbell 72, Ponga in there obviously with Tedesco, and then Nikra, and Isaiah as captain was the massive one there. So at 894, let's see if it was enough. But we put us in at 2,458 overall with the no trades left. And as I said, let's see how things ended up. So we got the win, unfortunately, against Liam in that one. Got that win there, and then I got the win in the sweat lobby as well. So very, very cool there. So let's count up the leagues that we end up winning. So we got 1 out of 3, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 5 so far. 6, 4 out of 7 with that one. Alrighty, and then Gargarov. Yeah, so 4 out of 8 I won, which is pretty cool. And that concludes the head-to-head setup for the year. We'll obviously try and get a good score to finish and push somewhere near the top 2,000 overall as well. But to get 4 wins out of 8 of the head-to-heads that I was in, and some of these are really, really strong. You can tell here I came 12th in the Gargarov there and managed to finish in sort of anywhere in the top 6 for the other ones. And got the win, obviously, in the one I came first and second, leading up to the finals there, and third in the Liam's League, was sitting there in that one, and then second in the Sweat Lobby. So happy days there. It was actually massive wins in those 2 matchups. So it shows that it's just weird, and I found it crazy that having 3 trades over the last 2 weeks and using them, and I've still gone really far back in ranks. So it just shows that you've got to be on the right guys at the right time. And as I'll go through in my review for the season, that I a few mistakes there and a little bit of unluckiness in this back end, but I just haven't prioritized getting the top tier guns in, because I had used a lot of trades and hadn't been able to, and used some guys to get me through the back end of the buy period. And that cooked me a little bit with missing out on Isaiah Yo and these types of players for sure. So there you go. We'll leave it at that for that one, guys. Thank you so much for being here for this one. And we'll catch you tomorrow for our couple of videos as always. And then the finals fantasy coming up.